Awesome. Hello, Internet. We are, instead of playing our usual public access, we are down a player and decided to, instead of cut them out of a sweet missile silo witch circle action, we are going to play a little bit of a new game with the folks who can make it. So we're going to be playing a game called Bloodbeam Badlands. It's by I don't know how to pronounce their first name. I'm terrible. Vidita Valetti. It is a, well, let me read the little introduction here. You have survived the apocalypse and your worst nightmare has come true. The sun burns redder, brighter, and hotter, never setting the forever dawn. The land has been irradiated and kissed by its strange sanguine rays, warping the world into a carnival for the strange and the supernatural. Life on the surface is a deadly gamble. Anyone that wasn't already superhuman has either perished or evolved into something new, something sometimes even horrific. Only desperate, I thought I said buddies, only desperate huddles of humanity remain. The surface dominated by the mutated and the magical, from the newly mutated, sunborn, haywire, and awakened robots to post-apocalyptic prehistoric behemoths to sunsick werewolves, cursed witches, and warlocks, and you, the undying vampires. This world has transformed into the perfect prison for your kind. In this new hell, many lesser vampire folk who cannot survive the piercing rays of the forever day have chosen to live underground and feed on insects, rodents, and lizards. In stark defiance of this wasteland, the few pure vampires left use their terrifying powers to control towns of superhumans and live lives of luxury in darkened places. You will be playing vampire folk with diluted enough blood to stay active outside, braving the forever dawn, where indirect sunlight is a slow but inevitable death. You roam the irradiated wilderness and wastelands trying to survive, whether that's time in the tranquil shade or drinking blood not blasted with radiation. Your motivations are your own, whether you wish to find better homes for the weaker vampires, drink the blood of a pure vampire and gain their powers, find passage to the mythical endless night and save your kind, or to just live, unwilling to end your undying life. Whatever the case, you and your companions travel the irradiated landscape, crossing paths with other superhumans, getting into scrapes with mutated beasts, or making deals with the last vestiges of humanity for their blood and mutual survival. So this is a vampire game. This is a post-apocalyptic game, and this is a Western game. A few safety notes. The character keeper I linked has the standard. I hope there we go. Has my standard set of lines and veils. If you want to take a look at that, I've already started off with some the usual. If you want to go ahead and add stuff to that, that's great. There is blood drinking, and if we're not okay with that, we can play something else. It's totally cool. There is vampires also have a history of being manipulative and taking away agency. That's not really what we do here. So it's going to be less focused on that, more just like surviving. The Western stuff, it's not necessarily like a Western game, because it has a lot of bad associations with colonialism and racism and genocide, and we don't do that here either. So you are you're just existing in the land in the Western. And same thing with post-apocalyptic stuff. We don't want to do stereotypes, or don't want to do a racism, don't want to do ableism or mental illness in a way that is bad. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And usual safety tools apply. Open door is always open. Script change or X card if we need to slow down, stop, reverse, do something over. And then the lines and veils, which is a living document. Right now, no homophobia, racism, sexism, transphobia, no sexual assault, violence, no torture by the PCs, and no fingernail injuries. Those are our lines for now. bails on consensual sex, eyeballs, suicide, and torture by NPCs, and ask for about domestic violence. I'm actually going to put a bail on that. I don't think I want that. So ask on harm to animals, romance, and self-harm. Great. I don't think there's any animal stuff in this, or it's not entirely written, so there doesn't have to be anything that we don't want. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about the game itself. If you haven't already, go ahead and claim a set of character stuff on the character keeper there. If you want to go in alphabetical order to make it easier, that's always good. The setup is pretty simple. We're going to be rolling D6s and occasionally D3s, and we'll use the dice roller for that. Every vampire is going to have a name, clearly, and pronouns. You get to say what you look like. Can be whatever, and your purpose, the thing that you're seeking after. I've played this once. My purpose was to hunt down the bastard who made me and do whatever needs to be done there. But it can be literally anything, just whatever gets you through the day. There are a few stats. There are 6. There's three stats: guns, guile, and guise. Guns are your brawn and courage. Guile is your wit and cunning, and guise is your charm and deception. Aesthetic. How do we set those? Doesn't say yet. We'll talk through the rest. And then you have 3 sources, and these are like the resources you have available to you. There's blood, bullets, and burn. Basically, blood is how much you've fed lately, how healthy you are in that respect. Bullets is basically your currency. It's both money and gear and whatnot. Kind of goes into that. And burn is how much time you have left before you finally succumb to the radiation. Usually we get burned from drinking irradiated blood and whatnot. Cool. So we're going to, for the stats for the Guts, Guile, and Guise, we're going to be rolling 3d3. So the stats will be between 1 and 3. And then go ahead and assign each of those values to one of those. It says if the total stat value is 4 or lower, increase the stat by 2 or 2 by 1, and no stat can be higher than 3. So if you happen to roll low, that's fine. We'll get you taken care of. So go ahead and jump into the dice roller, and you should be able to roll D3s in that. I think just by saying D3, 3D3. Yeah, there we go. And assign those how you like.
Where is the dice roller tonight?
Oh, let me post it in chat here. There we go.
Sorry, that's 3D4 or 3D6?
3D3.
D3, oh, fancy.
Cool. Nice. And for the source values, we're going to roll 3d6. You put the highest result in burn and assign the other 2 to blood and bullets. So your burn is kind of the closest thing to hit points this game has. So we like to start off with a high number there.
Sorry, but for that first set is assigned however we want in the top row?
Yeah. And these numbers will go up and down. So if it's low, don't worry. And if it's high, it'll get taken care of sooner or later.
I'm so sorry. What are we rolling? Oh, like what dice are you rolling for this?
For the
For the blood, bullets, and burn.
oh yeah, that's going to be 3d6. Put the
Okay.
put the highest one in burn. Nice, got some good burn. Ooh, 6s across the board. Nice. Cool. After that, we're going to pick our bloodlines. So these are basically your superpower. Everyone has a cool bloodline. There's transubstantiate, which lets you shapeshift into some monstrous form. This is the one that I played last time, and I played a Baphomet, so I got to do some cool transformations there. We also had an umbral shift. This is one of y'all have shadow powers. You can move into and out of shadows in magic ways or rip them apart from people. That's really good. We have the Verisimutates one. Ooh, I pronounced that right. And that gives you kind of a link to the psychic plane, and you get to do cool stuff with that. There's Phantom Blood. Your heart is a chamber for the ghosts of those you have consumed, and a lure for those who linger on in this world. And you get to use those ghosts for superpower stuff. Those are the 4 base ones. I think there are other ones, but I don't know where they are. So this is what we got. And I've set up the character keeper to fill in a bunch of stuff. Some of them get long, but there we go. And so each one of those has basically an activation cost. When you want to do something, it's usually going to cost something. It's always at least 1 blood, but some give you the options to spend more. There's a feed action. So that's each bloodline lets you do something unique to feed, whether it's taking people's thoughts or eating off their shadows. Or if you're a monster, what's the one with eating someone's heart? Yes, that's right. Those are fun things. And then a drastic fate. And basically, if your blood ever drops to 0, something big happens, and we can see what happens there. And it looks like folks have changed those. Great, or taking those. I think the last thing we need to choose is your gun and ammo. So your gun is something you cherish. Without it, you would be powerless in a new world where your immortality is fragile. You're going to pick one kind of cursed ammo from the drop down there. There's seeking ammo, incendiary ammo, phase ammo, grasping ammo, and blood moon ammo with werewolf blood in the tip that all do special things when you choose to shoot those. And then describe what your gun looks like for you and how you've personalized it, how it's been modified by the supernatural to fire these special bullets. And when you've described it, pick some narrative tag that describes it. I think, yeah, you can just put that in the description. And sample tags are accurate, concealable, large magazine, screams, and so on. So that can be pretty much whatever you want. Oh, do I have a map of Davos? I think I do. I made one. Yeah. Let me send you the small one. Yeah, cool. I'll post that up when we're ready to go. And when y'all have your guns drawn, we'll go through and do introductions.
I know so there are tables for the look, purpose, and all that stuff.
There are not, no.
All right.
That's all free form. That would be a good thing for the jam, though. There's a Bloodborne or Bloodbeam Badlands game jam going on right now. It has a couple days left, and the thing I'll be running through is my submission for it. But like a list of selectable looks and purposes would be really low effort way to join the jam. If anyone out there wants to do that.
When you have no drop-down prompts, this is when you steal flagrantly from existing media you already know.
Yes, exactly.
It's pretty much the name of everything I've plugged into a freeform field right now. If you know, you know.
Nice. 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 Cool. Looks like we have our guns done here. Does Vance have a look and purpose yet?
Just thinking of that now.
Cool.
Start introducing and I'll go last.
Okay, let's do reverse order then. Let's go with let's introduce our vampires. Actually, it looks like Ellie has got hers done all the way, so we'll start in the middle and go from there. Introduce us to the vampire James Anderson.
All right, yeah. Mr. James Anderson appears to be a 40-something cross between someone who's gotten a little scruffy in his time, but was once put together. It's kind of marked by a short but unkempt salt and pepper hair and a nice waistcoat and a pocket watch. Well, they were once nice, but they haven't been nice in evidently quite a while. His purpose in this life, like the last, is to get revenge on a fellow named Bob Graham. And if James Anderson want to get revenge on Bob Graham sounds familiar, it's because it's flagrantly ripped off from a wonderful classic game called Outlaws.
Nice. Tell us about your superpower and your gun and all that.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson here is attuned to the deep umbra. His soul is an unstable void that connects him to it. This means a few things. One, he doesn't cast a shadow. And two, that he consumes the shadows of others, whether it's taking someone else's to gain a little food for himself, or to take it off an item, a weapon, a thing, in order to mold it to that purpose of the Umbra. And when he's not able to reach into the shadow, or something else will do better, you better look out for the Samaritan. Again, a once nice, now not so nice looking Winchester rifle, which has a silver nameplate on the stock, on which the name has been scratched out. It is loaded with seeking ammo, where when Mr. Anderson whispers the true name of his target and fires it, the bullet will find them no matter what's in the way.
Nice. I love it. Cool. Rue, why don't you introduce Allison Munoz?
Munoz. Yes. Good try with the pronunciation. Sure. So Allison Munoz, she, her, 30-something woman with a scarred face and a torn nun's habit. Never wanted to be a vampire. Wants to find her sister in the nun way, sister capital S, from her previous life. I picked Phantom Blood for her bloodline. So your heart is a chamber for ghosts that you have consumed, and a lure for those who linger on this world. Her gun is a hand-me-down revolver with a broken rosary tied to the grip. It is accurate as my tag, and it has phase ammo, rune carved bullets, tether your assets to them, and you can swap places with the bullet.
Awesome.
So I thought that sounded cool.
Super fun. Teleport bullets. Cool. And Sasha, tell us about Vance Radigan.
Yep, Vance Radigan, him. He is a tall, gaunt, ghoulish figure with wispy white hair and a long black coat, and his purpose is to pay off his debt to the demon Memel. His bloodline is transubstantiate. You have a true monstrous form waiting to break out, something even pure vampires fear. Describe what the form looks like, writing down 3 distinct aspects of it. And he carries a sawed-off shotgun, breathes in chains and flame, filled with incendiary ammo, naturally.
Badass. Have you decided what your monstrous form looks like yet?
I think standard, monster vampire, wings, claws, fangs.
Awesome. Cool. Those all sound fantastic. So let me talk system for a moment before we jump in. So you've got your sources, and those are the things that are going up and down most of the time. Basically, blood is your lifeline. You're going to lose blood when you take physical or supernatural harm, and you can spend blood to use your vampire powers. Your bullets are your currency again. You're going to lose bullets when you take social or financial harm, or when you're spending a lot of resources, or when you're losing them. And you spend bullets to use your cursed ammo. Cursed ammo auto succeeds, it always hits. You don't have to roll for that. And burn, you lose burn when you're exposed to the sun too much, drink radiated blood, or are beaten down by the elements. And you can always spend burn instead of losing blood or bullets. Or to increase your blood or bullets by 1 if you want to do that at some point. Why would you want to do that? The basic roll that we're going to be using most of the time is basically, it's going to be something under something. It's going to be a stat under a source. So I will be picking that depending on what it is. So if we are shooting at a charging Triceratops, it's probably going to be guts. So you roll that many dice, and it's going to be guts under probably bullets. So if James Anderson was shooting at it, you'd roll 2 dice, and you'd want to get 1 under. So you get 2 guts. You roll 2 dice, and your bullets is 5. So you'd want to be rolling 1 of those under 5. At any time, you can choose to spend a source to auto succeed on a roll instead of risking the consequences of the failure. Sometimes we can boost or make the roll more difficult. That's like if someone is especially tough, or they have armor, or you are juiced up from some magic blood or something, we can basically change the target number up and down that way. And the one last super fun thing is if your lowest die roll is equal to your source value, then something explosive happens. You disastrously succeed and triumphantly fail. It is a dramatic partial success, and it is always a good time. The rest of it is basically like what happens when one of your sources is reduced to 0. None of them really have you dying immediately, but you generally don't want your sources reduced to 0. It's generally a bad time. You can increase your sources. You can increase blood by drinking blood, of course. The majority of people are going to be irradiated. So if you find pure blood to drink, you're going to roll some D3s and maybe usually 1, but depending on how big it is, and gain that many blood back. If you're drinking irradiated blood, you're going to be rolling guts under burn. And if you succeed, you reduce your burn by 1 and continue by as normal. Otherwise, reduce by 2 in gain of blood. So lowering your burn is bad. You can get more bullets, which is your currency, by doing jobs, trading goods and services, scavenging. It's more of a, it's a kind of a fluid narrative number. So that'll go up and down as you do things. And you can restore your burn by either drinking pure blood, which again is difficult, or spend a fulfilling rest in total darkness. And that will get you a D3 burn back. And that's pretty much it for the rules. Any overall questions before we jump in?
There will be, but I think I'm good for now.
So renewing blood as a general rule is challenging, yeah?
Yeah. You can always do it by drinking blood, or by using your power, usually by eating a heart or taking someone's shadow, or how does the phantom blood? What's their special? Eating a ghost. So yeah, you can either drink someone's blood or use your special thing, and it'll usually get you back a D3 or so, depending, unless you like kill a T-Rex or something and drink its blood, eat its heart, and then probably more.
I'm getting the vibe there are dinosaurs in this game, which I was not expecting, but I plan to eat as many ghosts as I can get my hands on, so let's do this.
There are canonically dinosaurs in the example adventure in the book. There is a mutated Tyrannosaurus Rex with a gun for a head called Revolver Face. So that's pretty cool. It eats radiation and shoots bullets from its face. Yeah, there's a lot of things. The one thing I'm always worried about with my stuff is that I don't go far enough, like try and make stuff make sense. So I'm gonna try and go a little bit further than I usually do, and we'll see how it works out. Cool. One of the fun things that it suggests that you do, and I think is a fun thing to do, is since this is kind of an episodic game, you can say what happened last time on Bloodbeam Badlands and do something to narratively show that. Yes, Dr. McKinnon, exactly. Would one of you like to roll a d6 for me?
Sure, I can do that.
A 6.
6.
Great. What did I write down? Last time on Bloodbeam Bloodbeam Badlands. Cool. So last time you as a group were hired by a sorcerer to track down and recontain a djinn that he had summoned and let loose of. That went pretty well, but it did take its toll. You got paid, so everyone can bump their bullets up by 2. But you're also going to lower your blood and burn by 1 for the effort that you put into that. So you're fresh off of a genie hunt. Cool.
Is there a maximum your sources can go to, or?
I think they're maxed at 6. Let me double check that. Character step blocks. No, it doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Yeah, caps at 6. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be stuck at 6 bullets.
Well,
Great. So that was last episode. This one finds the 3 of you traveling to, you wind up at the town of Dove Oath Flats. And I've dropped a rough map, very, very rough map in the Dove Oath Flats tab in the character keeper. Which direction do you want to come in from? They're all equally good or bad.
I have a dice for this. At least I used to. Yes, I have a dice with the cardinal.
Nice.
East. We're coming from the east.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. Yes. So yeah, you basically come across what you come across by wandering in from the last episode, and this is no exception. The town of Blood Oath Flats is relatively small, maybe 100 or so people, and the road in. Do you travel during the day, or do you try to travel mostly at night?
Probably the night, right?
Go for it.
Cool. So the moon is high, and you're coming in the road from the east, and you see the town up again. It's probably early evening, so some folks are still up and about. You can see some lights kind of twinkling in the distance as you head down this dusty road. It's kind of situated in an arroyo, kind of like a dry wash, but there's no real sign of, it doesn't seem like that has been active for quite some time. As you approach the desert on the right hand side of you, to the north, the kind of usual brush and scraggly flora kind of fall away, and you can see just a vast plain of salt flats. It's basically just like level flat desert as far as you can see in that direction. The moon is really cool, kind of almost as if it was a really still sea. You get a little bit of a glow off of it, and in the distance you hear these screeching sounds. They feel like almost like what you would imagine some like a giant bat would make if they screeched audibly, just kind of like moving across the flats. You don't see anything out there though, so it's probably best to move along. There's before you get into town, there's an old cemetery up on a little rise, not really a hill so much, but a little rise, and it's looks pretty full. And you enter the town. There's a dozen and change buildings. Most of the homes are kind of around the edges. They're on the ramshackle side. There's a big church with a steeple in the middle that looks like it has seen better days, and a few shops in town that they're closed, but there is a little cantina that is still open. Yeah, and beyond the town is darkness, but you can see on the map that there's kind of a rise up ahead, up kind of northwest of the town. Yeah, what would you like to do coming into town?
Go to the saloon.
All right.
Get my horse, go to the saloon.
Cool. I have that written down here. Yeah, there we go. Saloon. I don't have a name for the saloon yet. Do y'all want to name the saloon?
The Dust Bowl.
Nice, the Dust Bowl. Cool. So you walk into the Dust Bowl. There's not even the western doors on it. It's just an open frame, and there's a dozen or so folks in there. There's actually someone plinking away on a very, very, very rough piano that you can easily tell like there are notes missing. Everyone's pretty, not lively, but everyone seems in relatively good spirits. Everyone is drinking something, usually either some cheap beer. You do see a couple bottles of whiskey behind the bar, and yeah, there's a gentleman behind the bar who again looks like the buildings. He's seen better days. He's kind of gray and dusty all over, suspenders over a white sleeveless shirt. And so the people here, everyone has there are not really any like normal humans left, but most people only have minor mutations. And I think here it's almost an not even albinoism, but just like everyone has kind of like flat white, like chalky skin and kind of milky eyes, and just straight white hair or curly white hair. And that's just kind of like what this region got hit with. And so he's kind of like that. And how about each of you tell me, like, what's the usual reaction you get from quote unquote normal people when they see you? It could be they just see me as a normal person.
I would say for Allison, because she has the scarred face, people don't look her in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually talk away from where she is.
Yeah, James Anderson looks like a perfectly normal drifter until it occurs to someone that he's not casting a shadow anywhere.
Love it.
Vance is very tall and gaunt, and I think he has a little bit of, an aura of violence about him. So you try to get out of his way, or just keep their eye on him in case he starts trouble.
Nice. Yeah, and I think most of the folks in there take note of new people coming in. You don't get stared at real bad or anything. Um, what would you like to do in there?
I'll go up to the barkeep and ask, "Excuse me, kind sir, will you serve some drinks to me and my companions? We had a real long ride coming to town. Could use something to take the edge off."
That's what we're here for. Beer or whiskey?
You have O negative.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke?
Just looking to wet our whistles in the manner to which we are accustomed, sir.
He gives you another look up and down. I hope you're not here to cause trouble. We don't have a lot of room for trouble here.
Oh, on the contrary. Me and my associates, we solve problems for folks in these trying times.
Just come upon us by happenstance.
Wherever the wind takes us, sir.
Well, would the wind like whiskey or beer?
Whiskey, double, neat.
Pulls down a bottle, plunks it in front of you. It's a brown glass bottle, very rather dusty. But like desert dust, not like dirt
Okay,
dust.
not
Yeah.
old dust.
Yeah, it's just like it's nowhere in this town is going to be clean.
I just, give it a little wipe with the sleeve, pour it, ask the bartender. I'm looking for someone while passing through. You had any other visitors lately?
It's hard to get visitors in these days. Ever since the creek dried up, and well, there's
Well,
not really much reason for folks and the screechers keep away. Most regular folks usually come by for trade. We get some in now and again. Who are you looking for?
well, by recently, I mean within the last 5 years or so.
Oh, we've definitely had people in the last 5 years.
I'm looking for a fella, older guy, around his 60s. Last I saw, longer hair, all gone to white. He always wore it tied up behind his neck. Affectations with kind of a red sort of suit. Calls himself Bob Graham.
I'm gonna ask for a roll that's not in the rules. Can I think can I just get a roll of 2d6? Kind of like a fortune roll. Ooh. He looks you square in the eye and says, Bob Graham. Yes, sir. Who's looking?
An old employee. Hoping to find some again.
What's the nature of Bob Graham? So I don't overwrite anything that you got in mind.
Aside from being is he human, is he vampire, what's the relationship is what you're asking?
Yeah, like what's his deal?
All right, I'll send you a little DM in the chat here in case
Nice.
it comes up.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, and I'll add to that.
Cool.
Yeah. Maybe still is. I don't know.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's perfect. Yes, sir. He did come through. Must have been about a year back. Came through with a big wagon. That's really the last big supply run we've gotten. Kind of been scraping by since then. Fair deals. Seemed a little full of himself, but we beggars can't be choosers, and ain't many choosers around here.
So, where's the? And you said this was a while ago, huh?
Yeah, it's about a year back. He just came from the same direction you were coming and just headed on west.
How often the caravan come through?
Just the once.
All right.
It was a singular event. It was a special day for the town, actually. We don't get folks in more than once every couple of months. So not really on anyone's itinerary these days.
Well, it's a long shot, but you know what? I was hoping to sign on with the caravan again, but you know what? Like what you said, my friend, beggars can't be choosers. So
Well, if you're anything like your friend over here, you could stay as long as you want. Eventually you might come.
yeah, he and I travel as a team these days, as it were. So yeah, I'll be sticking
Oh.
around.
And what about you? Drinking?
Water.
You got a good sense of humor on you. And he brings over a bottle of beer. Is the closest thing you're gonna get.
She reluctantly opens it.
Yeah, it's not great, but it is liquid. You three are coming in pretty late. Plans to stick around? You're gonna drive on through the night?
Remind me again what we were doing after finishing this job after finishing that previous job that got us here.
Just wandering away like the end of the Hulk, just kind of walking into the distance and walking into the next episode. If you wanted to do something specific, that's totally cool. I think after Allison asks for water, someone kind of not calls to you, but more yells at you from a couple tables away, and it's a man, real thin, rail thin, in black long sleeved wool outfit, and you see he's got the collar on a little bit crooked, and he's got several empty bottles of beer in front of him, and he kind of yells at you like, if you're looking for rain, it ain't gonna come from man. You got to put your faith. It'll be provided for us. Kind of drunkenly points at you. You have faith that it's going to come?
Yes, I have abundance of faith.
Well, hallelujah. Sit down and join me for a second.
And I think Allison is going to make eyes at the people and be like, I'm going to go over there.
Cool.
Sits down.
What's your name, stranger?
Name's Allison, and yours?
Reynolds, Father Reynolds. You may have seen my church coming in, or all the faithful join in with me in prayer, which we seem to be a bit short on these days.
You don't seem like a shepherd of a flock.
Well, that requires a bit of cooperation. I'm a shepherd, not a sheepdog. It's not my aim to wrangle people into believing what they ought to, but those who come tend to stay. You've come to stay?
We're passing through.
Oh, you think? All right. Well, maybe you can stay a spell and lend your voice for a day or two.
It's been ages since I've stepped foot in a church. You don't want me there.
Well, whatever you're bringing, it's got to be better than nothing. There's plenty of room. God's house is large. So is that building that's being unused. And kind of like slumps a little bit. And, what's Vance doing here?
And he's looking at the conversation between Allison and the Reverend, and he just wants to go up and just say, "Amen, Father. I solemnly do believe that we can aid you in drawing back attention to your church.
Oh, we don't say.
Maybe what this town needs is a miracle."
You got that right. What are you bringing?
Now, if you were to join me, I think together our prayers call the Lord down here to bring good tidings and Christian cheer onto this town.
Amen, brother.
Now, I have someone I'd like to introduce you to.
I've already met your friend here.
Oh, no, this person is very special. He's an angel, you see. An angel sent by the Lord to fulfill the wishes of the righteous and the innocent.
What are you selling?
I ain't selling nothing but the good word. Same with you, preacher.
So where's your friend?
Why don't you come take a walk with me and I'll introduce you to him?
Was outside? Gonna introduce me to your horse?
I can see it take a little bit of convincing, but when the angel visits you, you will know him, sir.
Let me get a roll for this. I think this is gonna be do you want to be guile or guys? I think it's guys using schmoozing someone into getting what you want. So I think it's gonna be guys under who I think it's gonna be guys under bullets. He wants to see what you got. So that'll be oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. You'll be rolling one die and you want it to be under 4.
All right, D6.
Yeah. Yep, that is not a success. I think he gets real serious and says, "You're not the only one, you know, seen the likes of you before. And I've seen the angels out on the flats, and I don't want nothing to do with them. You can hear them all night." He gets up and goes back over to the bar to get another one.
James is still at the bar.
Yeah.
Enjoying his
Yeah,
drink.
he just comes right up next to you. Like the bartender doesn't even ask, he just brings him over another bottle. There's a like an older guy, like 70 or so, hard to tell, kind of sitting in the bar has you're just standing at the bar, but there is a high backed like stool way at the end, and there's this old guy, same kind of like chalky complexion all around, and he like yells over to the preacher. He's like, your rain's never gonna come, preacher. You may as well give up and just get yourself to honest work like the rest of us. Like yelling past you.
And what's honest work in this town look like, old timer?
Oh, honest work is whatever needs to be done, getting either scratching up what we can out of the ground, getting getting things ready for whoever stops by, like yourselves. Lucky ones, maybe the Underwoods will take you up and have you work on their place. Lot to repair and clean around here.
That does indeed sound like honest work.
You got a strong back. I can put you to work.
I'll get back to you on that. Hey, preacher, my friend over there didn't tried to give you a line, didn't he?
He sure as God's word did. Try to tell me something, some angel thing. People come by here by providence almost. I think it's my opinion that now that we have nothing of material to offer people, I think people are sent for a reason. What's your reason for showing up here, do you think?
Is the next town down the road?
It's a ways down the road, let me tell you that. It'll be a long, even on, you got some good looking horses out there, but
Yeah. I mean, you're a man of the cloth. I feel we can be honest with each other. I'm looking for someone.
are you a man of cloth as you as well?
No. Oh no. Oh, no. I'm just honest. Same as you, right?
Same as me. Maybe the only honest person left in this town.
No, I'll drink to
And
that.
it gets a couple of grumbles from the from the crowd.
Listen, I think you know as well as I do that none of us are gonna be exactly providing any rain for you, so you got any alternative plans?
To be honest, I don't.
If rain doesn't come, Reverend.
I know the rain will never come, but it doesn't stop me from trying. But I know that I feel that in my heart, and I can't prove anything. Yeah, the creek didn't just dry up of its own accord.
How long's it been dry?
Almost a dozen years now. Is whatever you see here is, it won't last long. We've used up what's left of the dirt and dust and tall soil around here. The Underwoods provide, but I feel like that's just selling our souls to the devil, if not our bodies.
Well, say it just for kicks. Why you show me the creek?
So you want me to go outside with you as well?
I mean, sure my friends would like to come along too, but I'm something of a problem solver.
Yeah, let's get a roll from you too. Are you trying to trick him, or are you honestly trying to convince him?
Not trying to trick him. James Anderson is an honest man. He genuinely wants to see the creek and mess around and see if it's been warped or anything, and what he can
Cool.
pull from it.
I think that'll be it's where guile is trying to convince someone of reason or facts. So I think it's gonna be guile under I think it's gonna be guile under bullets again. Yeah. So 3 dice. If at least one is under 6, you'll be good.
All right, so 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
There you go.
across the board.
Super good. So he throws back what's left of the bottle, slams his hand on the bar, and says, "Well, I got to do something, I suppose. I like the rest of you. Come on.
There you see, honest men, no honest men. I gesture at Allison and Vance.
Y'all want to go with?
Yeah, Allison's gonna trail behind.
Cool.
Sure.
First thing he does is he heads over to the church and grabs a lantern. The church is, like you could see from a distance, it's definitely the biggest building in town, but also maybe the least well kept. It is like there, if there are shutters on any of the windows, they are hanging by a thread. The paint looks like it's been sandblasted off, and the only thing that it seems to be intact is the big cross on the steeple. So he goes in, and you can see if you follow him in, and you are welcome to. There's no vampires. Oh no, there is a rule. You have to be invited inside. Yes. So when he goes in and looks back at you standing at the threshold, do you do anything to try and get him to invite you in?
Far be it from me to come into an unfamiliar house unwelcome. Do you mind if I
Oh no,
just-
all are welcome. Please. Everyone is welcome in. Please follow me. And so he ushers you in, and it's a pretty simple. It looks like the main building is just one big room with pews that are entirely disused, and maybe some have been used for storage. There's boxes and bundles on a few of them. And there's one small room through a door to the side. He goes in. You can tell that's like there's a bed, a bunch of empty bottles, and a few knickknacks here and there. He goes in, grabs a lantern, lights it up. And like when he raises it to his face, you can see that he looked like he was like animated in conversation in the bar, but when he holds the lantern up to his face, you can see like he's just haggard. He's had a bad time of it. And they lead you out to the arroyo just north of town. And he just kind of narrates kind of disjointedly as he's bringing you through, and just like shows like, well, it used to run down this way just north of town. There's even like a little bridge that goes over nothing right now that's also incredibly dilapidated. And he like kind of chuckles when he leads you over it. I don't think this is going to be a problem here, but I think vampires also can't cross running water. Yeah, you cannot pass through running water without taking significant harm, but not going to be a problem right here. So he like gestures down one way, like, and that's where the creek runs. Came off a Sweetwater Rise over there. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. It's nothing to see if you're used to such sights, but it's no more than 20 feet of a drop. But when the sun hit, the water coming down just right, I swear it looked like heaven. But that's all gone now, isn't it?
Vance loudly yawned.
And from the east toward the flats out there, you still hear occasionally like these groups of like shrieks, it's like going through, and he doesn't seem to pay him any mind.
What's the mechanics and or game fiction surrounding eating someone's shadow?
Eating someone's shadow. Let's see.
Yeah, shadow to get some blood back before I do
Yeah. When you eat the shadow out of something living, roll d3s equal to the size, radius, and grandness. So yeah, I think you tell me what it looks like when you're eating a shadow.
I think while Well, he's given his little speech here. I'm thinking his attention has been caught again by Vance's loud, theatrical yawn, and James takes that moment to just kind of move into where the lantern is casting the preacher's shadow, and James has none, and just stands there in his shadow for a moment, and the preacher's shadow just kind of reforms itself such that it follows James's silhouette, and then when James leaves the lamplight, the preacher's shadow is gone, and he just walks away with it.
Nice. So the lantern is kind of like casting a glow all around.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Just roll 1d3, and that's how much blood you get back, right?
Yeah, it's the
gain any source equal to the highest roll to that roll die. So yeah, you can buff your blood up or whatever you like.
1d3.
Yes.
That is a glorious 1, but it's enough because I was going to spend it right away.
Excellent. What is Allison doing out here while all this is happening?
I think she's trying to tell exactly where the shrieks are coming from, because those are something she wants to check out.
Yeah, they're definitely coming from the salt flats. The sound carries. There's nothing in between. In fact, it echoes a little bit off the rise to the north.
Yeah, I think she's gonna turn to Vance and be like, "Do you think we should go hunting?"
Well, sister, if that's where the path takes us, I'll certainly follow you.
I believe that is where the Lord intends us to go.
Are you trying to get him to go with you?
Yeah.
Or do you care if he goes or not?
I'd like us all to go, because I don't know how fighting things works.
I just want to do a quick blood power on the stream before we head out, though.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
See, I'm going to reach into a shadow and put something into the deep umbra to determine if the thing has been warped by it. And what that thing is going to be a handful of rocks and dirt from the dry creek bed.
Nice.
I want to know if there's what the reason is for the stream drying up.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, cool. So spend that blood and roll guile under blood.
So that'll be.
Oh, that's rough. So you can also you're gonna be rolling 2 dice and trying to get under 2, which is chancy.
Yeah.
You can also spend a point of source to auto succeed. So you can spend blood, bullets, or burn to auto succeed that roll if you like.
Do I need to make that choice before attempting the roll?
Yeah.
All right. I'll spend a bullet on that.
Nice. What does it look like to expend resources to put something into the shadow?
Well, since I expended a bullet, in this case, I'll just kind of reach into my little belt pouch there, pull out a bullet for the rifle, and then just kind of push it into the dirt of the dried up creek bed while just the hand follows it, pushing the rest of the dirt down into the umbra.
Nice. Yeah, I think since you're spending source to do this is great. So when you do this, do you get like visions of it, or like feelings, or how does this usually work for you?
Yeah, let's a vision more akin to having like a memory.
Cool. Yeah. Great. So you It's almost as if it's kind of like the if you've ever seen Tales from the Dark Side, there's that kind of like inverted video kind of effect, and that's what the Umber looks like. And it's almost as if you were someone small playing up and down the creek. It is daytime, which is like this inverted night to you, and it's kind of like you're following the creek as it was running. And it wasn't like a river or anything, but it was it was enough to make a little bridge over. And you follow it up up to where there's a waterfall that comes off of the ridge, and the you stand there as you see it kind of dwindle to a trickle and then stop. And behind where the waterfall was, there's an opening in the cliff face, and you can the vision you get is then this kind of like sped up, kind of like David Fincher camera moving through the cave until it comes to a it looks like sandstone wall, and then just kind of like stops, kind of dissipates at that wall.
All right. Is the stream the creek source perchance in the direction of the shrieking?
No, the creek source is to the north. That's if you look on the map on the Beveled Flats tab, that's a Sweetwater Cave. And then the screaming is coming from the Salt Flats to the east.
All right. Yeah, sidle up to Vance and Allison and just kind of a little bit away from Reverend there. Like, I think I know what happened to the creek. You want to go for a bigger hunt?
That sounds fine for me. Maybe we can get paid for our efforts.
Oh, if we can bring water back to this town, they'll owe us for a lifetime. That's a pun because we're vampires.
But also correct. Cool. Before we move in, let's go ahead and take a little break. How about that? It's been a bit more than an hour. Are folks good with 5? Cool. I'll see y'all in 5. All right. So I think we can cut to the cave. I think the Reverend has it's probably a little bit too self-absorbed and probably wake up underneath the bridge in the morning, unless something disturbs him. Yeah, we make it through the mouth of Sweetwater Cave. There it is, as names as James saw in the vision. Do you describe the vision to the others, I assume?
Oh yeah.
And as in the vision, it is exactly as you saw. It is, it was hidden behind a waterfall, but is no longer because there is no waterfall there anymore, and is just an opening, kind of person-sized, enough for a couple of people to go side by side in there, and it is dark, even more so than the night with the full moon. It's like oddly dark because the moon is so bright. What would you like to do?
Is darkness a problem for vampires in this fiction?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry for a reminder. Do we bring the priest with us?
No, the priest kind of, unless you want to have dragged him along with you, I think he can wander off by himself. If you want to find him later, he probably won't be hard to find, though.
They're gonna double back and eat him, aren't you? I see
Something like
it.
that.
So could
You already
we
ate his
all
shadow.
eat the different things from one person?
Say that again?
Like, could we all eat the different feed from
Like
one person, but we
eat his
each
shadow,
get-
eat his thoughts, eat his heart. I suppose so, yeah. Use every part of the preacher, yeah.
So but there'd be a sequence, right? So first James eats his shadow, then Vance eats his heart, then Allison,
and then you eat his ghost. Yeah. You probably got a system all worked out.
We're just min-maxing our consumption.
That's teamwork.
That is teamwork.
I want to activate my bloodline
Nice.
and send in the hound and send it forward to see what's going on if there's
Awesome.
danger in the cave.
Awesome. So you're spending a blood to activate the phantasm houses the soul of a crawling beast. You can travel far distances away and still function. You're briefly slide into a corporeal state allowing it to manipulate objects. Cool. It sounds like it can be any beast that you have consumed in the past. What does your hound look like?
I want it to be like a oversized alligator.
Nice. Fantastic. Perfect, in fact. So yeah, it kind of flops out of, or does it just materialize, or what does it look like when it comes out?
Yeah, I would think it she holds out her hand and calls, and It just like appears
Nice.
spectrally.
Does it have a name?
Gustavo.
Gustavo. Great. And Gustavo is a spectral alligator. So looks back at you and snaps a little bit and starts waddling into the cave. So yeah, it doesn't seem like you can see through his eyes or anything, but he'll do what you want. So yeah, he happily waddles into the cave, and he goes in a ways, and you can see there's like a little bend that he goes around.
I think not hearing anything immediately concerning, Allison's going to start walking forward.
Cool. Yeah, it's it's a cave. There are signs at the entrance of the cave. There's definitely signs of like people scratching their initials in the walls. Some empty bottles, some tin cans. There's signs that people like, oh, like this is where kids dare each other to spend the night or whatever. And when you come around the corner, there's it twists and turns a little bit, and you sort of see Gustavo's tail around one corner, and when you come around, he's kind of just got his maw open like this, and about 15 feet in front of him is the figure of a man who is bare-chested, also spectral, and probably 12-ish feet tall, and he also has the head of a crocodile. And when they're kind of just like making mouth at each other, and I think when you turn the corner, it like turns to you and just lets out a roar, completely unlike the screeches from the flats, but like a guttural roar, and you can almost feel like hot breath blowing your hair back. What would you like to do?
Did the other are you two following, or was I like a scout?
No.
I assume we went together.
Do you guys see this as well?
Yes, everyone sees it and hears it. Yeah, if you were following behind, you definitely heard the roar before you saw it.
Like you said, you want to hunt, sister. Let's hunt. I want to take out my sawed-off shotgun, which bursts into flame as I raise it aloft, and I want to take a shot at this fucking thing.
Nice. You don't. Just to clarify, you can fire your guns without using your spectral ammo, so you don't have to spend bullet every time. If you just want to unload normally on it, you don't even have to roll. The shot just goes straight through it, and you can see it spark against the wall behind it. And it just like turns to you and bellows, and kind of like reaches its human arms out at you. Gustavo is just bah, 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 bah.
Okay, so it says that the phantom can briefly slide into corporeal state. Do I have to do anything, or just say that happens?
Yeah, you can just say that it happens.
Okay, I think Allison is going to motion at Gustavo and say like attack.
Mm-hmm. In corporeal state.
Yeah, in corporeal state.
Right. So yeah, Gustavo solidifies into a large dark green alligator, and starts just like kind of leaping and snapping, and it just can't. There's nothing there to snap on, but it seems like getting angry and frustrated, going around his legs and snapping at the parts that he can reach, and to like looks back at you and is like, I want to eat it. I want to eat it.
Are there any kind of Does the specter person seem to be hovering by any particular objects, or it's just kind of
Just like dead in the middle of the passageway.
down
Yeah.
the passageway?
And it's not doing anything but standing there and roaring at you and like reaching out towards you.
It's just standing there roaring, and it hasn't like done anything to Gustavo.
Nope.
All right, I'm gonna try something stupid. I think yeah. James just gonna lower his rifle from just down to kind of an alert carry, and just just start slowly walking up to the ghost and saying, "Oh, I think I know who you are. You're just another lie." Just attempting to speak its true name while walking right through, because he's convinced it's just a ruse.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what he- let's find
You
out.
you are able to walk straight through it, and it doesn't turn or anything. It's still focused, towards the entrance of the cave, and it's when you walk through it, just goes rah, and you can walk through it with no trouble at all.
All right.
That was rather anticlimactic.
Not everything's an apocalyptic battle between angels and demons, Vance. Some things are just exactly what they look like.
I think-
You both walk through it as well, or
Yeah,
follow.
I think Allison's gonna like kneel down to Gustavo and be like, "Oh, sweet thing, you tried your best," and just like dismiss him.
I wave my hand in his face like I'm teasing one of the Buckingham Palace guards.
Yeah, exactly the same response. Yeah.
I was like,
And
Spectral alligator is going to be like the hot new children's show once television.
and when all three of you walk past it, it actually fades away with one final roar echoing, and you can continue down, and the cave goes and kind of like forks a little bit, like one kind of like goes up higher and one kind of goes lower. It's hard to tell exactly where they go because it's very twisty and turny. Which would you like to go up or down?
do we dare split up?
Yeah,
We could. There's three of us though.
there's three of us. I mean, speaking in character, in my experience, water typically comes out of the ground rather than, well, at least I mean, if when it's in creek form, you know what I mean.
That would be the principle of gravity, yes.
Principle of what?
Gravity.
That's what you put on your mashed potatoes. So it sounds like we're going up or down. I didn't quite catch
I
that.
mean,
We want to find like the underground source, so it would be down, wouldn't it?
it
Nice.
would be down.
Sounds good.
Cool. You again follow it down a little ways, and for 10 minutes or so, and come to kind of a it's not the woods, it's not a clearing, kind of like a little cul-de-sac, a dead end. It's like a 20 feet ish wide, and here there are more things. At first, it kind of has the same feel as the entrance to the cave. There's some things scattered around here and there. There's no writing on the wall, but there is stuff on the wall. And when you inspect it further, you see that a lot of the things on the ground are like torn up backpacks and clothing and bones, and the things on the wall are more like streaked handprints. It looks like, I don't know, maybe a dozen people have come down here and not done so well for themselves.
Can I rifle through the belongings and see if there's anything
You
there?
absolutely can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, what would be fun to have here?
Uh-oh.
Let's see. And a list of fun stuff here. Yeah. Yeah. You do what the thing that you do find under there, it is some of it is fresher than others. Probably nothing more recent than 4 months, give or take. One thing you do find in one of the more recent bodies, and they have kind of been torn apart, is a compass, and it's made from like a dull. The case is a dull silvery metal. It feels pretty heavy, and it's got like a three petaled flower symbol on the top. If you open it up, it has a it has a needle, but no no directional markings inside. Just a needle that, like, if you move, it'll point in a consistent direction.
Can I tell if that direction is north or is pointing to something else?
It's hard to tell underground. Is there a spot for gear? Yeah. How about in gear? Put strange compass.
Got it.
But that's pretty much all you find of value there. It looks like from the clothing, the tatters that you can find, it looks like most of it doesn't really match up with kind of what you've seen folks wear in town in the saloon. And in fact, the scraps of there may be a few tattered scraps of meat lying around still, and they don't have the same chalky white. There's like no whatever bits of skull or hair is there is not the same coloration as the townsfolk, in the top layer anyway. What would you like to do?
I'd like to take a closer look at these handprints because the scene suggests that they all died in this room. So yeah, I'm looking to see, is this blood, grease, ash, what?
Yeah, it is 100% blood. It is 100% dry blood. You can smell it.
I can smell it. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you're a vampire. It's like,
yeah,
ooh, someone
yeah.
made breakfast in here.
Um,
Smells like pancakes.
Yeah, I'd like to do the classic creepy monster hunter thing and see if I can learn anything by like tasting it.
Ooh, yeah. Let's do a. I think it would be a guile under blood for that. What does that look like?
I did not understand how much I would be using blood for. Otherwise,
you can always spend burn to raise one of your other sources if you want. So you can move points of burn into blood if you like.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna try for a roll right now.
Yeah. So that'll be 3 dice and see if you get a 1 on any of them.
Yeah. I mean, I do usually, so. All right.
Hey, let's go. There we go. Yeah. I think so. Do you tell me exactly what you're doing?
Rifle in one hand, reaching out another hand to just trace over the bloody handprints and take a little swipe with the finger and the little taste, see
Great
what's in there.
Yeah. And when you ooh, I'm gonna give you this. When you taste it, it's like it's a jarring blur of images. And it's someone with a lantern coming down here, or actually they've got like big like beeswax candles. They're coming down here, and you see, you know, flashes of the apparition from the entrance, and folks running away. When they look towards the people who are running away towards the entrance of the cave, you see a flash of someone in red, and the other flashes you see are in this room. It's almost as if they were running into this room, and a shape in front of them, striking at them, something striking at them, and them, you know, falling to the ground, and this massive black shape. You almost feel it as they get their everything ripped apart. You kind of snap
Alright.
back from that.
And they were running from someone dressed in red?
No, that's someone they saw outside the cave.
Okay.
They were running from something in here.
Oh, they were trying to make it out.
Yeah, they got turned around, wound up in
Okay.
this little cul-de-sac.
Okay. Hmm. Well, don't know if it's what dried up the stream, but whatever killed all these folks is presumably still down there. Wasn't human, but that shouldn't be an issue, right, friends?
Hasn't stopped us before.
Give her a knock and introduce ourselves to the new neighbor.
So this is about as far as you can explore from the downward passage that you entered. It's kind of a dead end,
Oh,
but you can go around back up and try the other way if you like. And yeah, as you great, you know, come back and maybe a little bit more wary, knowing that you're probably not alone in here, and you know, turn up. It slants upward for a bit, pretty sharply. And there's like a few low parts you have to kind of hunch to get through, until you come to a part that's more open and kind of ends at a like a sharp flat wall. Yeah, and you know, it's still dark, but you know you're not blind in there, so you can kind of like get a sense of feeling in there. It's still, you know, it's a little bit larger, so the edges are more difficult to make out. Can't really see the ceiling very well, but this is definitely like looks like the wall that you saw in your vision.
Hmm.
What would you like to do?
Turn to Vance and say, well, you wanted to knock on the door. And I gesture to the sandstone wall.
Yes, experimentally, I take out the compass. Is
Mhm.
the arrow pointing at the wall?
It is, let me see. Kind of obliquely, like it's pointing in the
Yeah.
direction of the wall, but not like directly at the wall. Like a little bit like off to the left some.
In that case, I think I'm just like, all right, knock, knock. And I just want to try and punch the wall down. And I will invoke an aspect of my monstrous form if you think that's required to knock it down.
When you approach the wall, you hear hissing noises from above and to your left. And when you turn and look, there's a ledge, kind of like, I don't know, 8 feet above, a couple feet above head level, and you see out from the shadows three snakes sort of peeking out over the edge and kind of like waving around, looking at you, opening their mouth and hissing. They're different kinds of snakes. One's a diamondback, one's some sort of viper, and one is it's got the thin head of like a coral snake, but they're larger than the snakes that you normally see in this area by quite a bit. Do you still want to punch on the wall there?
Does it look like they're waiting to attack if I go closer to it?
They are paying very close attention to you.
Yeah, go for the door.
Boys, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so let me describe a little bit more about the wall as you approach. That wasn't really evident when you entered. There are two like little alcoves, one to either side, and they are like good sized sandstone blocks, 3 feet ish or so, stacked on top of each other in either alcove. And there is a like an amphora on top of each one. Nothing that you would have seen in this kind of part, but kind of like a large clay pitcher on either one. Looks like it's painted white. Still approaching the wall?
I'm gonna look inside the amphora, see if there's anything in them.
Great. When you go to do that, this thing leaps down, and I guess it's in between you and the other two. And when it comes down, you can easily see what it is. It is a very large, or it's got the body of a very large jaguar. Again, probably it looks like its head would come about to the height of where the ledge is, but its head, instead of a jaguar head, is the bodies of 3 large snakes coming out of its where its neck would be, and there are like it's hard to tell in darkness, but it's kind of like a reddish yellowish metal kind of. It looks like it's kind of plated into its skin, kind of like on the haunches and on the shoulders, and you don't get a close look at it, but it looks like it has been detailed in some way. And I think it's going to strike at you.
Hey,
Let's make a save or a roll. I think this is going to be, well, tell me how you react when it leaps down first, and we'll go from there.
I think I probably kept my eyes on it as it's approaching.
Yeah.
So as it's coming down, can I say I'm prepared to activate my transubstantiate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're spending blood. So you can spend 1 blood for each aspect that you are manifesting. Tell me what that is.
I'll spend 1 blood to activate my 6 arm aspect.
Nice.
Just out of my back, 6 long, sinewy arms emerge and try to go grasp at the snake heads as they strike at me.
Awesome. Cool. This is going to be then a guts under. Let me double check to make sure I'm doing this right. NPCs and enemies. Difficulty, great. Yeah, so this is going to be guts under. Let's see. Let's read this one more time. Currency. I think it's gonna be guts under blood. As you're using your powers there. Its nature will reduce your target number by 2, making it more difficult. But I think in your form, it's going to raise it up again. So 3 dice, and you want to get under. Oh yeah, let's get up there. It negates that, so under 3.
Okay. It says I get a boost for each aspect I manifest.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
okay.
Boosts, I believe, are those bonuses. Let me double check to make sure I'm not doing this wrong. Boost. Sometimes, yeah. So, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's the boost. You're bumping the source value up 1. This is reducing it. So, because it's got goes nasty.
Yeah, it goes.
Ooh. All right. So I think so you go to grab it with your arms there. Let me see. Bullets there. Yeah, physical harm. So I think what it does is when you go to grab it with your 6 arms, it's much more agile than you thought it was, even though it's very, very big. And it kind of leaps to the side and kind of like Jaguar parkours off the wall, and gets behind you before you can react. And it's you can almost feel it hesitate. It is not expecting what it's facing. But two of the snakes wrap around like your normal arms, and another one stretch you in the back of the neck. And I think you're gonna take one blood damage from that. And you are kind of held for the moment.
I wish to shoot the jaguar.
Yeah, get it. Are you shooting it normal like or with your special bullets?
Normal like.
Cool. That's going to be guts under bullets.
All right.
Oh, and it's got a guile of 2, so your bullets are down to 3. So it's and only 1 because it's got a hold of them. So 2 dice getting under 4.
So 2d6 under 4.
Yep.
Okay. That's a 4 is the lowest.
Yeah. That's your target number there, isn't it? Oh, that the 4 is the lowest. So that means this is going to be an exciting what do they call it again? A spectacle. So this is a disastrous success and triumphant failure. Let me take a look at your gun. It is a Winchester rifle. Yeah. So I'm going to let you choose how many points of damage you want to do to this. You are real good at this. You very calmly take aim, level the sights at the creature. And you can shoot off 1, 2, or 3 of the heads if you like. The number of heads that you shoot off is also the amount of damage Vance is going to take when the bullets go through him as well.
Well, seeing as how anything more than 1 will kill him, I will shoot off the head that is or sever the connection between the head and the body of the one that's currently biting him.
Nice, cool. And I think that it's almost as if it was chopped off. But also it does give a flesh wound across his shoulder blades in the back of the neck. It is a flesh wound, but it is going to be a 1 blood damage there. And remember, you can always trade burn for blood. Allison, what are you up to?
Is it still holding Vance?
It is still holding him. It's just not striking him anymore.
Okay. Allison is going to pull out her revolver, and I'm going to use my cursed ammo.
Nice.
So I'm going to try to switch places with the Jaguar so that it can stop holding
love it.
Vance.
Cool. So you're spending 1 bullet to do that. It automatically hits. What does that look like?
There's have you played Final Fantasy? What is that? 4? No, not 14. 15?
No.
Okay, so you can like throw a sword and you like warp to where you threw the sword.
Nice.
So I imagine it's like that, like the bullet hits and then it just switches position.
Cool.
So yeah, I think
does it like have any like, is there some visual effect to the bullet when that gets shot?
I think it would be like almost like a magical effect of like blue sparks flying off it. And then
Nice.
they encase both of the creatures before they switch.
Nice, awesome. Boom. I think what it looks like is when you swap, like you are holding his arms back. You can immediately let go if you want to, and the now two-headed jaguar is kind of up close to where James is, I guess.
Yeah, I was
But it
wondering
is
that.
it is a little bit disoriented. It has not quite experienced this exact thing. But yeah, Vance is released if you wish him to be released.
Yeah.
And I think you have a moment to do something before it realizes that it's got a new dinner in front of it.
I want to spend another blood to use my bloodline, because I can choose different ones, right? Like when each time I do it. Okay, so I want to choose the lance
Nice.
and summon a magical weapon. So I think it's going to be like a whip. And I'm going to try to whip it. So it says all rolls made in an attempt to do harm are boosted by 1.
Awesome.
Any rolls resulting in spectacle deal +1 harm.
Nice. Cool. Tell me all about your magic whip.
Just to make it bizarre, I guess I'm gonna say it looks like a spine. And I'm sure it was found on one of our missions. And so yeah, I think that's I think it would be really cool if like it looks like she pulls it from her own spine.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not. So am I rolling for that? To do
so
harm?
you'll roll for the attack.
Okay.
And that sounds like it will be guts.
Okay.
Under bullets. And you've got the +1 there. And it's going to knock that down. So it's going to be 3 still.
Okay, so 3d6.
You're rolling guts so that'll be 1 die.
1.
Unless
yeah.
I don't can you make that better somehow? Guts. Can't you raise stats? It is a static number. Yeah, so that's a 1 die under 3.
Okay, so 1d6.
Or you can spend a source to automatically hit.
Yeah, I think I'll use a burn.
Cool.
2 hits. Okay.
Awesome. Where do you want to hit it?
I want to hit it on one of the other heads.
Cool. Just want to yank it off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a real like grab and pull sort of thing.
Awesome. I think it was the Diamondback one that got shot off. You're taking a coral or the Viper off just for color.
Viper.
Nice. Yeah, so that's wide jaw like turns and looks at you and just gets boink. The whole thing gets pulled off, and there's two flailing like spurting spurting like dark ichor. And the one coral snake, thin little head, is left and looks at James, and I think it just pounces on you. How does that work? That is probably going to be a imposed check. Yes. So yeah, that's just me calling for a check. So that's going to be guts again. Under, I think it's going to be blood. Yeah.
It's under instead of opposed.
It's 2 dice, and then you want to roll under your blood. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was the post roll. Yeah, all right, let's do this then.
And again, you can spend a point of source to auto hit
I'm sorry, spend a point of source to what?
to automatically succeed at not getting hit.
Yeah, let's do that. Then I'll spend I think burns thematically. No. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a bullet to not get hit, just kind of it strikes, gun goes off, just misses right past its head.
Nice.
I would like to, since it's right next to me now, I would like to eat its shadow before shooting the final head off.
Yeah, go for it.
So again, just kind of maneuvering myself, rifle up so I get into the shadow, and same thing as what happened with the preacher, where this snake shadow just forms into looks like me instead. And then when I
Nice.
move again, it's come with me and it's gone. And then I want to shoot that final head off.
Awesome. Rip off the shadow. Yeah, cool. I don't think we're gonna have you roll for this. I think you're gonna get 2d3 blood off of this since it's a pretty big boy. So go ahead and roll 2 dice and see what we get. 2d3.
That gets me 4 blood.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
So you're up to 6. That's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
that was some sweet, delicious hydro. All right, I'll take it.
Cool. And you want to take a shot at it
I
with
do.
your Winchester there?
Yep.
Cool. So that's gonna be guts under bullets. And I think it's still got its armor up there, so it's gonna be 2 under 3.
All right, just spend a bullet. All right. Not gonna make it.
Yikes.
Nope.
Yeah. I think it's between wrestling it for its shadow and it kind of like clawing at you and your long rifle. It's hard to get a shot like in under it. You do get a couple of shots off and hit the ceiling, and it's not caving in or anything, but a couple of rocks fall. These are not just normal bullets, these are your bullets. Vance, where are you at?
While it's wrestling with James, I want to see if I can sneak up on it. Well, no, I'll sneak up. I just want to try and jam the muzzle of my shotgun into its side and pull the trigger.
You sure can. That'll definitely be guts under bullets. Or actually, trying to sneak up on it.
I think I just run at it.
Just run out. Okay, guts in. Guts under bullets, and the bullets are gonna be knocked down by 1, so it's 3 under 3.
Okay, say a little prayer.
There we go. There's 1. You want to hit it in the back? You said.
Kind of the abdomen.
Great. Yeah, it's wrestling around, and you try and get a beat on it, and it's like fuck it. Instead of trying to aim so you don't hit James, jam the muzzle into its side and let go, and a big chunk flies off. It is big and meaty, and some of its kind of bolted on armor comes off as well, and it like kind of skitters and rolls. It's like up against the side. It's just kind of like looking at you with its final head, trying to decide whether it should run or not. It probably should, but it's not yet. So I think you're gonna get one more chance to do something before it runs away, if you want.
Use the opening in its side to reach one of my 6 arms in and grab its heart out.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. That'll be guts under blood, I think, and it looks like your blood is at 1.
I do sell the boost because of my aspect.
Yes, so under 2. If you want to spend something to raise your blood or spend a point to auto hit, you're welcome to do that.
Oh, let's see where luck takes me.
There you go. Was that the one just now, the 516?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you totally do it. You reach in, grab its heart. And is that 2d3? Yeah. Let's roll 2d3 for blood.
I bring it up to my lips with my fucked up 6 arm and just take a big bite.
Nice.
I don't get much.
2. Yeah. It is still up. Oh, you know what? No, it is. It is definitely not. You got a wife on it. Great. Yeah, you rip its heart out, and it's like if a snake could be incredulous, it would be. It just kind of like, again, like looks right up in your eyes, and the thing just collapses on the ground. You are covered in this dark red ichor as well. It's not pretty. There's gross stuff everywhere from all the shooting and whatnot. And yeah, that happened. Cool. What would y'all like to do here?
I just asked James, would that happen to have been the creature you saw in your there vision?
There wasn't, was it, right?
Yeah, you're probably pretty sure it was. This is
It
big,
was.
big black form.
I believe it was, and I give it a little just kind of give it a little whack on the carapace arm or whatever with the butt of my rifle.
Mhm. Yeah, it's now that it's not moving around, it looks like brass. Someone's kind of like riveted brass into its side.
Snake
And
made
does
out.
it look like,
I
sorry,
was gonna say I want to bend down and look inside the hole Vance made in the brass. See
Yeah,
what's in.
it's jaguar guts. It's
so it looks like someone like made this and put it on it, not that it's just like a part of its hide.
yeah, probably. It looks like the mutation is probably natural, but this other stuff was added after the fact.
I want
Because it's dead, can I eat the ghost?
Ooh, I think
Or do I have to
so.
do something special?
Let me just read the text again. Eats the ghost of another thing. You know, since you can kind of sense the spectral energy and manipulate it already, I think you can, if you concentrate, you can see its spirit. And it is, its spirit kind of presents as much larger than it actually is, but also a little bit more, less aggressive, kind of more like a kitty and less like a monster.
Okay.
And when it kind of senses you sensing it, it kind of like puts its head down between its paws, and the snakes kind of like come back and.
I think Allison is gonna like kneel in front of it and like do like a prayer, and then hold her hands out,
Mhm.
and then like eat it.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and roll 2d3 for blood.
Okay. 2d3.
Nice. That'll top you right up.
Yep.
I would like to collect the severed snake heads and put them in my bag to take back to town.
Nice. And sever the last one, I suppose.
Yeah, take all these metal snake heads. What else is in this chamber?
Not much else between the wall and the two amphoras. Now that you have a moment to kind of collect yourself, It does look like there's a little basin at the base of the wall with a little channel that leads into it. Just like, that big.
There's nothing flowing out of it.
No.
Like it would have been filling the amphoras.
It looks like, when you get closer to it, I think because of who y'all are, you can kind of smell blood, like not recent, but like blood has been poured in here before.
Well, we still never did knock on the walls to see if anything would come out of it, did we? Or if it was hollow, or if it was even there, if it was smashable. Got interrupted by a snake.
Yeah, you can feel it out. It like you see the sandstone blocks that the little pillars are made of. They're like 3 feet thick, and it kind of feels like the wall is made from at least one layer of this, if not more.
So did it seem like blood had been coming out of the spigot you mentioned, or that the amphoras had previously been filled with blood?
Yeah, what now that you mention it, it seems like one of the amphoras does have the lingering smell of blood in it. Stronger than the basin even.
I want to take the body of the jaguar and see if I can use its viscera to fill that one up with blood.
Yeah, you definitely can. I think you're well accustomed to working with the mechanics, fluid dynamics of a body, and you can pretty easily fill that one up with blood.
Does it seem like there was water in the other one, or is that just empty?
It seems like there was not blood in that one for sure, but it is dry and empty. If it was used for water, it's not there now.
Is the compass doing anything?
It's still pointing in the same direction, just kind of off to the left of the wall.
Okay.
In trying to figure out a character appropriate way to be looking for a switch right now, because caves and puzzles and switches go together like someone who's seen a lot of movies.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and give me a guise, or which one? A guile, I guess, under. Let's do guile under burn.
All right.
That.
Yeah.
That's 3 dice under 5.
I think what it would look like is you're just kind of walking around, just kind of walk, just keep tapping at the wall a little bit, just like there's got to be a hollow part somewhere here. And that's a 1
cool.
for my lowest.
That is fantastic. Yeah, and I think you've been around a bit, and your friend has a little tricksy and probably told you stories and whatnot, and I think it's so weird working in a system that doesn't have like a mystery system. I think between kind of like piecing together these parts, and what you've heard and read and stuff, it feels like this is if there is something to activate here, and the way to do it would be to pour blood and water into the little bowl, and that would flow in and do something.
All right. Is there a water source currently in this room?
There is not, no.
All right.
Did the travelers, the bodies you saw downstairs, did any of them have canteens on them?
Nah, they're bone dry.
We all have canteens, right? We didn't just walk in the desert without a water skin.
Maybe, yeah. Do you have I guess do you drink water or do you survive on blood mostly? You tell me.
I didn't think about it far.
I think in the
I mean, Allison asked for water.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe she likes to drink water.
you are not nourished by food other than blood, but you may still eat and enjoy it, according to the book's rules on vampires.
Which kind of goes back to there would, at least for James, there would not be a reason for him to carry that extra weight of a water skin if you don't need to. So
Yeah, I would probably say that you don't have water on you.
Would the sister have holy water?
Would the sister have holy
Okay,
water?
yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's holy water.
So yeah,
I love that. Yes, perfect.
All right, so I'll hand you my canteen of holy water.
It's probably like a file of it, right?
Yeah.
we need to make ourselves a little cocktail.
I mix it with some of the blood from the jaguar in the bowl.
Nice. Great. Let me have you. Well, I think it's just gonna happen. So I think it pulls up in the little thing and it doesn't seem like it does anything for a moment, and then kind of all at once it kind of drains away, and there's a big grinding from within, and I think because we only had a little water, the bricks kind of separate in movie fashion. They're like next to each other, but they only separate about 9 inches, enough to see through, maybe get an arm in. It definitely does look like there's about 6 feet of rock in this wall, but yeah, you can see through, and it looks like it's another passage beyond there with it's not cavern. The walls have masonry on them, and you can just barely make out a pinprick of light, and it looks like there are maybe stairs going up towards it.
Well, maybe there's a switch on the other side. Slip into the shadows and through that crack.
Nice. Can you use your slip in the shadows? Spend a blood there.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're able to slip into a shadow on the side, step out on the other side, and yeah, you're physically there. You just like Batman step out of the shadows there. There seems to be a similar setup on this side, two amphoras and a small bowl, a small basin near the base of the wall.
All right. If this is considered the same scene, I want to stay in the deep umbra while I go looking for something to fill this switch with, and I'll call out to through the crack what I found.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. I think so. This is it's a broad hallway, and you can see in the dim light there are there are paintings on the walls of various mutated people. It looks like kind of like the one at the entrance, and you can continue down the hallway. There is in fact a set of steps leading up, which you can mount if you wish.
But nothing I can use to open the door.
Yeah, nothing that you see here.
All right. Yeah. I'll head back kind of closer to the entrance, call out gonna poke my head up, can't find any water, but I'll poke my head up these stairs, and I will again, staying in the deep umbra, poke my head up these stairs.
Nice. You definitely smell moisture coming from up there, and it is lighter. The stonework goes from kind of rough sandstone to what looks like ceramic tile almost. And you hear like burbling up the stairs. And if you continue up, it opens up into a what's the word for it? It's a larger open area. It is tiled. There are columns. There are actually plants growing here. Like there's like potted palms. And in the center, a large shallow, like almost like a reflection pool, probably 15 feet across and 50 feet wide. And there's clearly like water flowing into it.
All right.
And then another passage beyond.
All right. Because it would have been a smart thing to do, can I say I took one of the amphoras with me and fill it with water?
Yeah. And even if you did, you have plenty of time to go back and get another one.
Go get an amphora, come back, and put some of that in the basin. And well, we still need a little bit of blood, don't we?
Yeah, you have plenty from the jaguar. it's a big boy. Yeah, and once you have a full amphora of blood and water in there, the whole thing grinds open and stays open, and the rest of you can go up and see that. And then there's one more passage beyond that. And this is, again, you hear flowing water as you enter. There is it rises again not too far and enters into a small cavern where there's a small river flowing kind of diagonally lengthwise along it, flowing towards the room that you were just in. There are bars on either end. The creek, stream / river is maybe like 6 feet across and flowing gently. There's iron bars in the walls of the cave where the river enters and exits. And there is a boat, a long boat, just kind of parked there in the middle. And there is a man standing on the boat in a hood.
Do it.
Yep. And just kind of staring at nothing. What would you like to do?
So he's just standing there
Yeah,
on this boat.
It looks like he's just been standing there for a while and doesn't really react when you come in.
Say, you the one who rerouted the creek?
There's no response. And it's narrow enough that, like, if you wanted to, you could kind of like step onto the boat and step onto the other side.
I want to go up to this guy and see if I can put my hand through him like the guy at the opening of the cavern.
Yeah, you don't put your hand through him, but when you when you touch his front to touch him, his hand comes up. You don't even really see it come up. You just kind of feel it grasp around your wrist, and it's the sleeve falls away, and it's just skeleton and bones grasp your wrist rather strongly, stronger than you are used to being grabbed. And when he does that, the head kind of tips up, and you see under the hood just a skull with burning green flames in his eye sockets, and just like stares through you.
Pardon me, hombre. Didn't mean no offense. Just testing out a hypothesis. I try to take my hand back.
Yeah, he lets you go back. but he does put out his other hand.
So I want to take 2 coins and put them on in his hand.
Cool. Yeah, and he just clasps them. And he opens his hand up and they're gone, but he puts his hand back down. And you hear it is clearly a skeleton under there, but you hear like the most weary sigh, like a very frustrated sigh.
I think this gentleman would lack more money.
Sure. Allison's gonna walk up and put 2 coins as well.
Mhm. And again, he's just like, and you almost see him like shake his little skull head again. Just like,
What exactly are we paying him to do? I just plan to ford this river.
Do you
Well-
think he would let us cross so easily?
Have you tried getting off on the other side yet?
To be fair,
Go
No.
on. You gave the man some coins. See if he'll let you pass. Then I'll know what to do.
so Allison's gonna walk up and like lift her skirts and
Mhm.
try to cross.
yeah, he does not stop you.
And from the other side, it's like, I guess the fare was enough.
Well, there you go. So yeah, I'll get on the get on the ferry to cross, and y'all gave him like $2 or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, I will give him 4 and say, now don't mistake, I'm just crossing, but I was wondering if you saw a man in a if you gave passage to man in a red suit.
And he just stares at you. No, I mean, skull, so no expression, but no response.
Well, that's a waste of $2. And I just get up and across the river.
Yeah, and as you cross, he like looks after you, and like you just, like his whole body seems to like just go like very frustrated skeleton.
It's probably super bored because people don't die that much. Is Vance coming over?
Yeah, I think everyone went over.
Yeah.
Okay. Is-
And on the other side, there is another exit with stairs leading further up again.
All
right. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. I think we'll wrap it up with this last image here. This is an even larger sort of not a palace. What's it called?
Like a temple wing?
Almost, but it's not like a temple to anything. It's just like a nice like an underground oasis almost.
Hmm.
This time the pool is kind of shaped it almost like cross like, and again there's palms, and on the far side is a young woman sort of reclining on a couch, and she looks over you very concerned and just stands up. She's like very beautiful, dressed very nicely, and just looks curiously at you and says, "Ah, visitors." I think that's where we'll end that one there. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if we'll come back to this one again. So I'm just gonna tell you what happens. There are mummies here who have been kidnapping townspeople and sucking their souls out to stay young. They also blocked off the creek to run it underground, and they have trapped the boatman there, so he can't take their souls. He's like, somebody fucking let me take some souls. And there's a bunch of other stuff. On the flats are the Screechers, who are basically the Wheelers from Return from Oz, if you've seen that, only worse. Big long arms with wheels for hands and feet, and all they do is screech at you. Yeah, but a bunch of other fun things scattered around. But yeah, this made me solidify some things that I had not solidified, so this has been really good. Less gonzo than it usually is, I think. Fewer dinosaurs. But yeah,
Pretty Dark Tower.
yeah. Want to do some stars and wishes just to get like a feel for how that went. Let's go in reverse keeper order. Start with Rue.
I thought that was a lot of fun, especially for all of us. You said this was your first time running it?
Yeah.
But you've played it before, correct?
Yeah, I played it once.
I thought it was a lot of fun, and I can see how you could like do a lot of cool stuff with the mechanics.
Mhm.
So I had a lot of fun with that. I really liked I haven't played like a lot of like you need to solve the puzzle and put pieces
Right.
together kind of games. So that was a little new for me, but I liked the way that we all handled it. I guess I had a bit of trouble figuring out exactly what to do, but I don't know if that was just me not being really familiar with that sort of play. Or if sometimes it's just like there's too many things to do, or you're not exactly sure what one thing you should do. I'm not clear on that part. But I did have a really good time, and I would like to play this again if we ever are down a person or whatever. Yeah. So I don't really have exact stars and wishes. Those are just my thoughts.
Cool. That's great. Thank you. Ellie.
Yeah, I liked it. You may have picked up that I really like westerns. The last one shot I played was Michael Van Fleet's Devil Aim for Me trophy incursion with actually him running it, and that was like the best time I had.
That's a really good one. That's really good.
Yeah, his westerns, and yeah, had a lot of fun with this one. I would say definitely, I didn't have trouble with the kind of with that more free form, you just say it and this is what's happening, because that's something that I'm used to have some background in. But yeah, for general accessibility, I would definitely give this game more GM tools to be used as player tools for. I can't really think of a better way to put it. But other than that, I like the structure. I like that there was that it does presumably have like an end goal the players can actually achieve, instead of just instead of the kind of the trophy dark spiral where you're done. But I like that. Line of the Night has definitely got to be you're familiar enough by now with the fluid dynamics of the body. And yeah, I really like the characters having that nice little contrast between Alice and the presumably once nun who is left left the convent, as it were, and Vance the full-on I'm a demon, deal with it, bro. But yeah, it was fun playing in the middle of that, so yeah, it's a good time.
Nice. Cool. Thank you. And Sasha.
Yeah, it was fun. The vibes are on point, and to echo Ellie, I definitely agree the characters were cool. I guess wish would be, like we talked about at the beginning, more tools for coming up with one. when you
Mhm.
introduce the game after 5 minutes.
Yep.
And yeah, I agree with Rue with the more like OSR-y sort of vibe. I don't like puzzles. It's not really my thing. So it can get a little bit frustrating when it's like, okay, we just don't know what to do until the DM just gives you the hint.
Yeah.
But like ignoring that part, the puzzles themselves were good. I like the theme with a Charon type character.
Hmm.
And yeah, I also would play this again.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I have not trouble, but OSR type games are more difficult for me to sort of get into, I think, because it's more just like, here you are in the world, do stuff. Someone, I think it was Chris Bissett recently wrote something about like how OSR games are more about the world and these other games are more about the characters or the story. And I think that really holds true. That, the characters are really cool. There's not like mechanics driving character goals or whatever forward, or advancement, like, oh, when you find your father, this happens. That's more definitely about like, tell me about the cool world and tell me about the cool things you do in it. And yeah, I enjoy it. It's definitely a different gear. And I think the one thing I'm not struggling with, but kind of poking at with this scenario is like finding a good like why vampires would care about this place at all. And so you'd be like, well, sucks for you, see you later. Which is totally a thing that could happen. So yeah, just trying to get more meat on it. But overall, yeah, it was fun. It was fun getting the stuff off the page and into play. And y'all are super fun to play with. I loved all your characters. And yeah, had a good time.
I think just coming back to, I think part of me having a bit of an easier time with the the free form interacting with the world was not just because I played these kind of games a bunch, but because just looking at the different bloodlines, the stuff I got for blood powers with the Umbral Shift bloodline was extremely useful for this adventure in a way that I'm looking at the stuff like the what's it called, like the Phantom Blood, and wondering like, wow, how would you fit most of this? How would I fit most of this? I cannot come up with something. So
Yeah.
that's I mean, that's not necessarily the game issue. That's that's just a design challenge.
Yeah,
I
and this
think.
one was definitely more like y'all took it in more of like a dungeon direction. I was like, they're like, oh, like this is probably something they'll find later on. Nope, they're gonna do it. Okay, great. I think it's more like, oh, like play around with the townspeople and see what people want. This guy is working for the Underwoods. Or you're like, no, secret cave, let's go. Which was, it also worked out. It was super fun.
You did use the shadow powers really creatively, Ellie.
Yeah.
I also like the descriptions of them too.
I mean, I will say also, for running as a one shot, there is more that sense of urgency to,
Mhm.
let's leave town and go questing. Otherwise, I would absolutely be hanging out in the town, picking every thread in town as much as possible. But yeah, in one shot scenario, it's no, let's go do the thing. I want to do the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely-
And if I was go ahead.
Just saying, it was definitely a case where I wanted to play with like the cool vampire powers more so than like talk to the people.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And I think for me, as far as like, why would a vampire care about this? Just based on, this entire 2 hours of playing this game for the first time, I'm getting the vibe that, unlike something like, Vampire the Masquerade, where the point is that you are a vampire, and there's this whole vampire culture and everything is because you're a vampire. The vibe I get more from this one is you're still just kind of like a normal person in the world with normal person concerns who happens to be a vampire. I almost read similar to like, I was getting some real Fallout vibes for my stuff. I'm thinking of like the ghouls from Fallout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You are one of many weird things in the world.
Yeah. The vampirism is almost incidental to the premise.
Exactly. Like the ghouls from the later Fallout games where they're, just regular people trying to live their lives. And hey, they're also like, quasi-immortal, irradiated mutants.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I really like that idea too, as for a premise. But
Yeah, I think if I was going to run this, or when I run this as a one shot again, probably definitely just like skip more of the connective tissue. Just like, cool, you're here, let's do this thing.
Probably just straight up give them a quest giver, like the priest or one of the other NPCs you have, and just like,
Yeah,
here's a problem. And then if they don't want to do that, then run from there.
Yeah.
Might be fun.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I also
Cool.
did like that, like in the previous episode. I kind of like that. I wish there was a little bit more
Mhm.
of that, so that you can sort of, it just sort of
Better.
felt kind of throwaway.
Yeah,
I think you maybe could build on that a little bit more, but I don't have a solid idea on how.
That'd be a great
Sorry.
area for like leading questions, like, all right.
how do you know each other?
Exactly. Or Rue, how did you find the Jinn? Ellie, how did you leverage the Jinn's weakness, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm just following the format of the sample adventure, but yeah, adding more stuff like that is definitely great. I love it.
Almost like a paint the scene using that original
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, paint the scene that your comment came out of. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for playing, y'all. On
thanks for
short
running it.
notice, jumping into something different. Hopefully we'll be back in full force next week. Cool. Yeah. So I will see you all then. Have a good week.
Happy Canada Day / 4th of July.
Happy day off. Yes.
Yes.